in the great city of Chicago. Great city of Chicago.
The
And
sailboat coming back.
really, yeah. My wife is having lunch off camera. She's having a gyro, gyro, whatever y'all call it.
Euro.
I've heard it called a gyro and a gyro since I've been here. So
You ain't wrong.
yeah. It's a lot of educated people that come on my live. So I'm sure they'll get it straightened up. But this is what I want. This is what I came on for, right? So this is actually my first time in Chicago. It is a great American city. Great American city. I arrived yesterday. I'm here for celebrating my good friend Overstreet's birthday, and I appreciate the invitation. He's also my tour guide. This is his home city. He lives in Texas with us, but we came here to visit for his birthday, and he's been a gracious host. I want to send a shout out to Overstreet, man. He's been a tremendous host, man. But this is a great American city, and as I'm walking through the streets and seeing all the people and just feeling the vibe of the city, I haven't been anywhere other than the Navy Pier and a long walk downtown. Took a pretty long walk this morning downtown, man. Just a great American city. Now here's the deal. It seems like Chicago would be a natural city to host the HBCU Classic. Like this should be a classic city. Can you imagine? Like this would be a great classic city. Just think if you brought a school from like Jackson State, even FAMU to the city of
I
Chicago.
think the logistics are a little different.
Man, this would be a great classic city. And then pair it with an East Coast school like a Norfolk State, a Hampton, or a Howard, man. This would be a tremendous classic city.
Well, I would say this. Since the historical value of migration, most of the people from the South came here, they probably would be able to identify.
Man, I think the culture, celebrating the classic in this city as a backdrop. Like this is what I realized about this city of Chicago. It's not used in the same way that LA and New York is used as a character in a movie.
Very untrue.
Well, not in the movies I watch.
Very untrue.
Like this city, in my opinion, should be used more as a character in a
It
movie.
is Chicago Hospital, Chicago Med. I mean,
I don't watch any of those.
there's a whole bunch of Chicago. It's the whole Chicago night on TV. So yeah, it's a lot of Chicago stuff.
Well, anyway, now I'm gonna be real rocky about this.
Oh Lord.
How many of those shows prominently feature us as main
The
characters?
Shy,
Well, I don't.
you don't even watch it. So
Yeah,
again, how can you speak?
that's Ghetto Vision. I don't
No, it's
necessarily.
definitely not. You get on my nerves.
But nah, man. I put it like this. To my experiences, movies like New York. Me coming up. Movies like New York Undercover.
Not moving.
I mean, well, series like New York Undercover that I really got into. Other shows that really showed those cities like New York and LA off as a third character in the movie. In some cases as the main character in the movie. So, but anyway, my point is simple. This would be a great classic city, man. A great classic city, and I think it would be largely supported by not only the people here, but also the people would. This is a city that you gotta. I don't know what I've been doing for the last 54 years that it took me. I mean, 55 years that it took me this long
Chicago red
to
or blue?
come here. Huh?
Chicago red or blue?
Oh, it's blue as hell. So check this here. Check this other thing out. Fun fact. Fun fact.
Fun fact, I ate the whole.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't leave me no leftovers. Wow, that was pretty good, huh, baby? Anyway, so I'm that husband that waits for my wife not to finish her food, and I
Not
and
today.
I will finish her food. But like today, this is all she got left for me right now. This is it. I don't eat paper though.
Man, I was good.
Anyway, But no, this is a great American city, man. Uh, you know, I know the crazy thing is I know so many people from Chicago that through my travels throughout the world and in the military, lots of people in Waco come, and I can understand now. Like I didn't understand why people would come to Chicago, come from Chicago, settle down in Texas, and always talk about Chicago very fondly, very in a real a way that they really miss and they long to be in the city, but they, they didn't live there anymore. But now I understand. I get it now. I understand why people move to a place like Waco, Texas, or even Dallas, Texas, or even Houston or whatever, and they long to be in a city like this, man. Because this is truly a dope city. Offers so much variety of culture,
And we haven't even seen.
and we ain't seen like a 5% of the city. You know what I mean? We haven't been in the neighborhoods or anything like that. We just been really downtown and Navy Pier. But I see what we're on the cusp of. I'm able to feel the energy in the city. I'm able to see the people. But just like last night, you saw all those black people on that boat, and I was able to find out what that boat was. That boat was the state of Illinois National Black Chamber of Commerce was hosting an event on that
Nice.
boat. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had no idea it was anything going
We
on.
invited ourselves.
But anyway,
See what a real Chamber of Commerce look like. See what they work like. See if they actually help. If they actually help the black business owners in their city.
yeah, for sure. What's up, everybody? What's going on, man? But who is this we got here? We got Xander. You keep going doing what you're doing. But nah, man, I just think Chicago will be a great classic city. I think, as I thought, like I said, I only been in the HBCU space covering sports for probably the last 5 years, man. And one of the things I understand is classics are a big part of the culture. They're a huge part of the culture. And so I think it's important that we continue to host classics in the South. You have the State Fair Classic, which is, you know, my all-time favorite. And then there's the Florida Classic down in Florida.
Waco would be a great place to have a class,
Yeah, I've
especially
always said that.
especially for introduction
Absolutely.
to have our city, our kids.
Host a classic, that would be
I'm
dope.
saying no to introduce them to HBCU. Now they've heard about Paul Quinn and all that type of stuff, but to have those guys come,
And understand what it truly is, that would be
to
that
actually
would
have
be.
HBCUs come and
But we
recruit
talk
from Waco. All right, I'm
we
done.
talk about Chicago though.
Sorry.
Waco would be cool, but Chicago would be epic. It would be amazing. It would be, just for instance, just to imagine 50, 60,000 people in Soldier Field watching Norfolk State led by Mike Vick against Jackson State led by T.C. Taylor. That would be an epic game, bro.
And covered by HBCU Coach
And
Corner.
covered by HBCU Coaches Corner. That would be an epic game. Do you imagine what that would be? Or even to a lesser degree, you take a Delaware State led by Deshaun Jackson and let them play a
Alabama A&M.
Alabama in. Or even I would even say this. Let's talk about this. Like bring a Prairie View into this market, led by a coach like Tremaine Jackson against a Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean?
Where you got a pretty Chicago fan.
That would be a tremendous game as well, man. Like I say, why isn't and if I talk to my man Al Wash, I'm sure he would tell me why Chicago is not a classic city. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have that conversation with Al at some point. Uh, and I also wanted to announce the act for the State Fair Classic this year is none other than the Grammy-winning recording group TLC. It'll feature TLC with T-Boz and Chili, and the spirit and the influence of Left Eye will be in the building. So, yeah,
Pretty interesting.
TLC is gonna be the State Fair Classic concert.
They could probably just
The
call it
anyway,
T-City.
don't be ugly.
I'm-
No, but yeah, I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I just wanted. Hey man, and I just wanted to ask y'all if you know why Chicago isn't a classic city, or if it has been a classic city in the past, let me know and tell me about some of the interesting. Uh, if it has been a classic city, which I believe it has, probably. I can't imagine it not ever being a classic city. But
Is there a black school here?
no, I don't think there's a black school near here. But just as many black people that are here, it had to have somebody had to have used or taken HBCUs up north and tapped into this market, man. If they hadn't, it's a grand opportunity for them to
Not grand.
a grand opportunity,
Grand?
a grand opportunity for them to do this. Matter of fact, if it hadn't been done, I tell Al what, I got something on it. I'm telling you, man, I believe it'll work, man. I believe it'll work. You get the city involved, you get the man, you can bring man. But you'd have to do it September, early October, because you don't want to play with that weather. Yeah, you gotta do it in September early. Matter of fact,
Getting the city involved seems like it would be a huge feat in a city like this versus a smaller.
yeah, you gotta get the city on board, man. You gotta host it in Soldier Field. You gotta have the people come out. You want some of the local high schools to experience some of the activities around the classic. You you Chicago is a music city, so there would be no problem getting an artist to come here and perform. Man, you could really create an event uh,
You play the Reds today?
with the city of Chicago. No, I don't think so. I'm telling you, the Cubs is playing. The Cubs is playing somewhere else. But I'm sure there are Cincinnati fans here in Chicago.
Why wouldn't there be?
I mean, I got a couple reasons why, but yeah. But no, much love, everybody, man. I just wanted to talk to y'all for a minute while I'm here in Chicago, at Navy Pier at our hotel, catching some lunch. Much love, everybody, and I'll holler at you.